Cat eyes. All right, we are live on YouTube. Let's get this video to connect so we can get the link and share it in our community. Speaking of community, if you are a solo or entrepreneur who is struggling to get to your first six figures in business, we have a community for you. It is free. We give you an invite to join us there. Come on, YouTube, give me the correct link here. Because we have a lot of great stuff for you to help you to get to your business goals. That link to join the free community is shaycannon.info/group. So join us over there. All right, cool. We got the link. We're going to put it in our group so that they can join us in the comments if they would like. Boom. That is making its way over there. All right, y'all, we can get started now. So, welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I'm your host, Shay Cannon. It all starts with a blog, and this week's blog is at shaycannon.com/boost. That's BOOST. I know the Alabama didn't get in the way because I heard it loud and clear, so I'm quite sure you did too. But what we're talking about this week are the top 3 sales approaches to boost your business, okay? Sales approaches. Last week, we talked about a marketing strategy called Category of One, right? When I got to thinking about what we were going to talk about this week, what I know is right now, we need different ways to bring in sales to increase our revenue, right? Because right now, revenue is an issue. So some of this is going to be, we need to start from the beginning with some marketing, and some of it is going to be, okay, we've been marketing and now that it's time to sell, how do we sell in different ways, right? So this week, we're going to talk about the top 3 approaches. Each approach has some strategies in it, okay? So sales strategies, where do we get them from? Well, let me tell you, big business, they pay a lot of money to get the secret sauce of how to sell to us, right? And they have come up with these approaches because they do more than just research. They do more than just do like panels and testings and all of this kind of stuff. They dip into psychology, they dip into everything. And then they start to build marketing campaigns and sales processes based on the information that they get, right? And so they come up with these approaches, and as they are publishing them and sharing them out to other businesses, we can benefit from those too. Okay, we don't have to worry about putting all the money into finding this stuff out, putting all the time into finding this stuff out. We can learn from the big boys. Okay, so there are proven strategies that we can save time and money and start to use these strategies to get more money in our business. Now, I'm gonna tell you, you can see some of the behind the scenes of these strategies in movies like even Wolf of Wall Street had some sales strategies in it, right? Think about what's the one, Mad Men, the series. The Mad Men was all about advertising and things they use for advertising. I mean, they was doing a lot more than that on the show, but advertising, right? And the techniques and the methods that they use behind the scenes. In our free community, every month we have movie club night. And we watch a movie and we pull out all the business nuggets that we can get so that we can start to add that to our strategies. Well, some of our best nuggets we've gotten has been about sales and marketing, right? So those things are out there. But the research, I'm going to say, has formalized some of these strategies and some of these approaches. The approach that we're going to talk about today is relationship building approach, okay? Relationship building approach. It focuses on cultivating strong and meaningful connections with customers throughout the sales process. Now, if you've been with us a while, like everybody that's in studio today and our community that's listening in, we talk about some of this stuff all the time, right? But we talk about it in different ways and how it impacts us at different points of the client journey, okay? So if you've heard some of this before, great. Now you have another way to think about it. And then I promise you it's going to be some things you haven't heard of before. All right. So relationship building approach. The first strategy is relationship selling. Okay. Relationship selling. This approach or this strategy prioritizes building long-term relationships with potential customers through ongoing communication, trust building, and personalized support. So how do we use this strategy? Well, you're going to invest time, okay, and effort to develop a rapport. Does that sound familiar? So this shouldn't be new to you. Most of today shouldn't be new for you, okay? You're going to offer personalized assistance and solutions. This can be in content. This can be in affordable offers, okay? You want to anticipate and address customer concerns and objectives, okay? Then we want to go into relationship management, because after we do relationship selling, when we've built a relationship, now we want to manage it, okay? So this strategy involves actively nurturing and managing relationships with existing customers to drive repeat business, loyalty, and referrals. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to implement a customer loyalty program that rewards repeat purchases and encourage ongoing engagement, okay? We're going to provide exceptional customer service and solve and with support and resolve issues quickly. Okay, we're going to solicit feedback from customers. Then we're going to go into something you may not have heard of, and it's called consultative selling, right? I'm a consultant. There's a way to use consulting to sell. It's called consultative selling. This strategy involves engaging customers in collaborative dialogue to understand their needs and offer tailored solutions. Okay, that's what a consult is based on. So how do we do that? You conduct assessments, okay, and have in-depth conversations with probing questions. You assess things, all right? A lot of us who have services, some of our services are consultations. Some of our services start off with a discovery call. In that call, you should be assessing. You should be asking probing questions, right? You also are going to provide personalized recommendations based on specific challenges they shared with you or specific goals they've shared with you. You're going to offer your expert advice and insights to help them make informed decisions, okay? All of that is consultative selling. Here's the next thing you want to do, consultative negotiation, okay? That is engaging in collaborative and value-driven negotiations with customers to reach mutual beneficial agreements, okay? How do we do that? We're going to identify common goals and interests and share. Both parties are going to negotiate what's a win-win situation. Now, what's an example of that? Because I know you get the concept, but you're like, but we're talking about sales. How does that work? What about an affiliate program, right? That's a win-win. What about a referral program? That could be a win-win, right? Another thing you can do is offer flexible terms, right? Payment plans. Maybe you have, the main offer and you have an offer that is a smaller version of that, right? If they can't afford the main offer. I am now in the middle of chopping up my strategy session into 3 different ones because the strategy session has gone up in price because it went up in value. And so now we're going to chop it up into 3 parts, and you can get one of those 3 parts if you can't afford the full roadmap, right? So flexible terms. It's not just about payments. It's just terms, flexible ways of working with you. Think about it like that. Incentives that address specific needs and priorities of the customer. Build trust and rapport through open communication and transparent dialogue to facilitate successful negotiations, okay? So you have a main offer. Your main offer is built for scale, right? But you're going to encounter certain clients that you may have to tweak that main offer for. That would be being open through communication and transparent dialogue, okay? I have had different times where I've had to tell people, hey, I understand your budget is not, where you can get the offer that you want to get from me. However, I can negotiate with you and I can give you this for that, right? And I don't really do bartering, but maybe we can do like a pinpoint focused thing that's a lower price than the whole big thing, okay? So start thinking in those terms. Let's see what we got. I think we, storytelling. I think I left the name of storytelling off the blog. That's an error. But storytelling, okay? So storytelling involves crafting and sharing compelling narratives or stories that resonate with your customers, evoke emotions, okay? Communicate the value and the benefits of the product through story, all right? How do we do this? We're going to share real life success stories or case studies. We're going to use storytelling techniques to paint a vivid picture. So a technique would be using all 5 of the senses in the story, okay? Incorporate storytelling elements in sales presentations, pitches, and marketing materials. So let me tell you about storytelling. Storytelling can be innate to us in social situations, right? But when we're in our selling situations, most of us are already kind of uncomfortable selling, right? Most of us are already trying to make sure we're giving and talking about transformation over features and all these things we've learned to convert higher, but we're doing all of that and we forget to tell stories, right? I am guilty of that. I'm over here trying to figure out, did I put everything on the sales page that was supposed to be on there, right? Did I hit all the psychology of sales? Did I do the pricing, psychology of pricing, all of these things? And sometimes I forget to go back and add, but what is the story? Heather tells us all the time, people remember stories. They don't necessarily remember all that other stuff. So if we can wrap all that other stuff in a story, they're most likely going to remember all of it. So we have to get to our storytelling, right? Okay, so that's what's in the blog. Let's go beyond the blog for the morning show. All right. So I have some additional strategies for you, but I have a consideration. So again, we're talking about relationship building approach as a sales for sales success. Okay. So a consideration within this approach of relationship building, strategies aim to foster connection. Okay. Address individual needs, because guess what? You should have an individual client avatar. Stop thinking group, think avatar, one person, persona. Okay. And we're going to create engaging narratives to facilitate the sales process. Okay. The more human we can be, the more humans are going to be attracted to us. That's like the skinny of it, right? The more human you can be with your sales process, the more humans you're going to attract with your sales process. That's why storytelling is so important, right? Humans have passed on things through story since the dawn of before Ice Age, right? Caveman put pictures on the wall. That was a story, okay? Now, let's go into some additional strategies. Customer-centric. We've been talking about customer-centric for months, and we've been talking about it in different ways. We've been talking about customer-centric marketing. Now let's talk about customer-centric selling, okay? This approach revolves around putting the customer's needs, preferences, and satisfaction at the forefront of your sales process. Okay, we're focused on delivering value, of course, but now because we have an avatar and not a group, we can personalize the experience of selling. Okay, so how do we do that? We're going to customize product and service offerings to align with specific requirements for that avatar. We're going to offer flexible pricing options, payment terms, packaging tailored to accommodate the customer's budget and constraints. Okay, we're going to provide educational resources, tutorials, and demonstrations to empower customers, even help them to make a buying decision, right? So all of this education, there's some education that happens before they ever buy from you. Okay, sometimes they need education to make the best buying decision. I'll give you a great example. If you have a discovery call with me, and let's say that my recommendation is that you get a strategy session, or my recommendation can be that you get a fractional COO package. But whatever I'm offering you that's high ticket, I'm going to educate you in my follow-up email to you. My follow-up emails for those services always include 2 things: an article from a large publication that you trust that tells you the value of this thing that I offer, right? And another article that educates you on the pricing structure for that offer and how it's usually priced, so that when you get my pricing, you have something to quantify it. You see what I'm saying? As a fractional COO, a lot of people don't know what a fractional COO is worth. Okay. They don't know the value that's brought to their business, and they don't know how much they're usually paid. And so what you don't want is for your high price fractional COO fee to be compared to their budget, to be compared to what a spouse says, to what a business bestie says, or anybody else who's not in the know of the value or in the know of the fee structure. So you educate them to say, hey, this is the value from a trusted source other than me. Okay. And guess what? This is how much you could have been paying. So you may think I charge a lot, but look how much most people have to charge. You know what I'm saying? So you educate into them making a buying decision. Networking, actively engaging in professional networks, events, communities to establish and nurture connections with potential customers, partners, and industry peers. Let me tell you how, if you can get a good network going, that can get you to six figures, right? I've been looking at what networks I may need to be a part of. Getting more into my coaching side, there are coaching networks that I can join that I am now out there considering, right? So there are certifications that you can get that have its own network, right? So certification is good for some people, not everybody, but there are associations, groups, and all of that where people who do what you do are there, and there are groups and networks and associations of people who are your ideal client that you could possibly join their group. When I was still a paralegal, I was in a paralegal association, but you know who else was in my association? Court reporters. Why? Because they knew paralegals were the ones that hired them. Okay. So they would join our association. They would sponsor different stuff, and they would show up and help with different events, all kind of stuff, because guess what that did? That's the law of reciprocity. They're doing stuff for us. We feel like we need to do stuff for them. So we're filtering our business to them. We see humans associated with this court reporting agency, and so we do business with humans. So I'm thinking of Amy from XYZ Court Reporting. I'm not just thinking court reporting, go to the yellow pages, go to Google. Here she is right here. I talk to her every month at the meeting, right? So think about networking two ways. A network that includes a lot of you, right? And a network that includes your ideal clients, okay? All right, participate in online forums, attend their events, host and organize your own events and invite them. All right, referral programs. The Alabama got in the way. Or is it the lips? I don't know what it is. We're going to say it's the Alabama. Referral programs, okay? We want to incentivize existing customers and partners to refer new business to us, right? There's nothing better than you're not the only one telling people about how great your business is and how they should buy. One of the things I can say about some of these people right here in this studio, two of which you see and three of which you don't see. So you see Teray, you see Heather, but who's not on camera, you got Dewana, you got Dr. Toya, you got Dr. Tachi, but there are other people that you're used to seeing like Shawana and Glow, all the people, right? One thing I have done is I have done such great service for them, or they've heard of my great service, or they trust me. Half the time, I don't even have to tell people what they need from me. They will tell you. They will instantly recognize it and be like, you need to get that from Shay. Oh, I see. Yeah, you stuck. You need this, right? Referrals. And let me tell you how clarity comes into referral. All right. So while you're out here still trying to do 75 different things and you're not known for one thing, trying to service 1 million people instead of your ideal avatar, okay? That's why people don't ever remember what you do and who you do it for. And when they don't remember what you do and who you do it for, they will not refer you because they don't even remember who to refer you and for what. This is why we need to cut it out with the lack mentality. Pick a main offer to be known for, a main problem that you solve. Pick a main ideal client avatar persona, one person that you serve. So that now everything is for that one problem you solve and that one persona that you serve. Okay? That's going to help you in the long run to easily get referrals. Okay? So implement a referral reward system, partner with complementary businesses, and you can do an affiliate, like a commission-based thing, and offer referral bonuses and incentives. Okay? I have clients that refer people to me and I'll give them a bonus, or I'll give them, it depends on what they need. Like if there's something they've been wanting me to do and I've been saying no, I might go ahead and do that as a referral bonus. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's things worth money, right? So start thinking about what it is. Community engagement. Okay, actively participating in and contributing to your local or online communities. So unofficial associations and networks are these groups, right? These communities. You can go in communities and give value. Now, don't go in there promoting your stuff. Just go in there and show that you are an authority, an expert in something, and give advice. And guess what? If you keep your advice and your authority along the same clear lines, you'll become known for that in that group. Okay? I was very surprised when in the free group from my old mastermind program, right, that I was tagged by my coach when they were asking for AI experts. I was like, oh, Lamar think I'm an AI expert? Well, why does he think that? Because for a while, every Wednesday, I was dropping ChatGPT prompts in the group. And I think different. So all of my prompts are different. They're not your run-of-the-mill prompts that you see online where they tell you this is how you can bulk create content. Like none of my prompts were like that. My prompts were around productivity, time management, operations, that type of stuff that a lot of people don't talk about. So because I was in there dropping those, I became known for thinking operationally, thinking as business management. That's my expertise, right? And so he saw me as an AI expert. Other people saw me as a productivity expert and an operations expert. So what groups can you go in and routinely, okay, routinely give some kind of content, expert content, some kind of tips, okay? Help the community. So you can also find forums and discussion boards, okay? You can use hashtags on social media to see where are people asking questions about stuff that you have the answer to. Okay. Collaborate with influencers, bloggers, thought leaders. You can do guest blogging, guest whatever. You can even still do account takeovers, right? It's funny because over the weekend, there's a friend of mine who lives here, and she has a network for business, female business and entrepreneurs. And I think it was about 4 years ago, I did a takeover of her group page and for a week, right? And I had a schedule of what I did every day that week as a takeover. She sent me the memory of one of the things I did as a takeover. And because I was looking at the, y'all, I knew it was old because I was looking at the picture, and it was a picture where my hair was really, really short. Like it wasn't even an inch long, right? And I was like, what the hell? This is old. But listen, takeovers work. Because what takeovers do is it transfers credibility, right? So you go in there as an accepted expert. Everybody now in that community now accepts you as an expert in that thing because the credibility that the host built up with them now transfers to you, right? And guess what happens? They will follow you. All right. Let's see what else we got. The last one is personalized communication. And what we're doing is we're tailoring communication channels, messages, and content to match preferences, interests, and communication styles of our ideal client avatar or persona. We're thinking one person now. We're done with group, okay? So how do we do that? Well, we specialize emails because we know who they are, right? We use their data and segmentation to deliver targeted messages, and we leverage CRM, our client relationship management software, to kind of keep tabs on who they are personally, individually, in relation to us, right? So that would kind of go back to that lead scoring that we've talked about before. So let me give y'all some information. I know I gave y'all a lot. I gave you a lot. I know I gave you a lot. But let's go back to the blog. We're going to sum up the strategies from the blog without the detail. So relationship selling, relationship management, consultative selling, consultative negotiation, and storytelling. Okay, that was from the blog. What I gave you in addition to that was customer-centric selling, networking, referral programs, community engagement, and personalized communication. Okay, again, that was a lot. That was about 10 strategies. Okay, so I want to know which one have you been using and which one are you going to start to use. Okay, and I'm gonna start from the bottom and come up. So Dr. Tachi, which one have you been using and which one are you going to start to use?
Good morning. Okay, so the ones that I have been using, or let me start backwards with the ones that I want to use, the community engagement.
Yes.
Obviously, when you get busy, it's hard to do that, but I think if I select one that I'm passionate about, that will work.
I love it. I love that.
And then in terms of what I'm doing, I think I'm doing a fair amount of relationship management, to be honest.
I think you are.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing it two different ways. I think you're doing it with your content creators, and I think you're doing it with your artists. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Most definitely. We got Shawana over here on the YouTube side. So Shawana, in these comments on YouTube, please let us know which one you have been using and which one you are going to start. Dr. Toya, are you available to come off the mic to tell us which one you've been using and which one you will start using?
Yes. So I think although not systematized, I've been using the referral one.
Mhm.
And just to piggy off of that one, you did a show, I think it was now maybe 2 weeks ago, where we were talking about like getting exposure. And I said I was going to send an email out to my list, being like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm doing this. So I finally did it. I asked people to send me links for where they thought I would be a good fit for a podcast and different things like that. And the recommendations and links and connections have been coming in. So that's been great.
Love it.
And the one I want to use more of is, and I don't remember the category it falls
Mhm.
under, but maybe a strategic alliance. I made that up. But getting
But
into
yeah,
other like,
collaboration. Yeah. I mean,
okay,
that's fine.
getting into networks of like other coaches, like being on lists where there are already
Mhm.
networks in place. I would like to use that one.
Yes. Because again, I mean, one strategic partnership and one network, that could be a six-figure revenue flow right there, right? And that's not even the only thing that you're doing. So yeah, we need to start figuring out what networks and associations we can be a part of. And sometimes I'm gonna go ahead and be real with you. If you can't find one, you might have to create one, right? You might have to create one. So don't forget about that. Dr. Toya, I think that you should also take that email and also do a post on your socials for that too, asking the same question.
Yes, I agree. Thank you.
Cool beans, no problem. Dewana, come off the mic and tell us which one of these strategies from today have you been using and which one you're going to start to use.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I use most of them. The main one I need to start using is the community engagement because most of my clients come from referrals anyway, and they come from consultations anyway. But getting a community has been the tough one for me because again, a lot of times people come in and they want and they want to kind of change what I do, or do you do this or do you do that? So to create a community that is really authentic to what I do is what I need more of.
Or going to communities that are already like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what just came up through me for you, Dewana, is you can literally go into because you're a local business. You can literally go into a local subdivision community, right? Especially the ones that have clubhouses and do cooking demonstrations and let them come test. And
Oh,
now
that's
you
a
have a
great
whole
idea.
subdivision that can take orders from you and delivery will be easy because they're all in the same place, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you that the meal prep people that I use, Heather knows Trina, there used to be somebody else in my building that also ordered from her, right? And so what began to happen is me and that person, got to know each other because we were out there waiting, got the same notification that, they were about to drive up. There would be times where she was late coming down or hold up, and I would give her food. She would give me my food, type of thing. So, I mean, there could be whole, you can create your own little network over that. You see what I'm saying?
I love that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Teray. So Teray, what is one of the strategies you already use, and what is or used to use? And what is one that you're going to start using?
Good morning. Relationship building is key. So some of these business coaches out here are just like advertising, marketing. We're not Coca-Cola. We're not Nike. You can't just put signs all over the place and think that everybody's just going to buy. You have to build relationship.
Yes.
But what I noticed, and for me, networking and participating in forums is key. So people are always shocked and surprised when they find out I'm not in these autism groups and these special need parents groups. I'm not. These people are in here arguing about how to interact or what to do with their children. I just don't. People argue about. I just don't do it. Mm-hmm. So what I know I need to do is I need to be in these groups. But first, I know I need to key in on who I know my customer is, my one person that I'm looking for. Because whenever I go into these groups and I start giving advice, people are going to be like, I can't. They like to argue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, though. I wouldn't come out of those groups, even though I may not post in those groups because those aren't my people. They are great to get information for content, though. You
right,
they are great for you to create content to say, a lot of people think this, and that's why they're having this problem, and that's why I do this as a solution.
So that's why I was in the dating groups, because I didn't agree with any of those people either, but I would just sit in there and read. And then I would go into my group. I'm like, so this is what I'm seeing in people who are dating. All right. Yes. And then I would talk about it in my group. So I'll do the same thing in the parent group. Yes. Because in the parent groups, and this is years ago, this is what I'm talking about. I got out of those groups early because I'm like, these people don't know what they're doing with their kids. You know what I mean? But I'll get back into those groups and I'll pull from what's going on, but I'll give advice to those people who I'm able to identify are my actual avatar, who, you know what I mean? It'll be a small percentage of people who actually will want my advice or who will actually might fall into the category of who I'm looking for.
Yes.
And then
and guess what? I do want you to go into those forums and stuff and figure out what is that language that they're using. Right. Because it may not be what you think, right? So we don't know if they're calling it holistic, alternative, like we don't know what they're calling it. So yeah, that's going to be a part of your initial research.
Well, I know what they're calling it because I am part of that group. You know what I mean? But you're right. I'm no longer around the parents with smaller children. I'm with the parents that are with old kids. So the people who have 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds, I'm not amongst them anymore, because when my kids were that old, that was 15 years ago. So you're right. I need to be in those groups because I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. And they don't have as much parenting tenure with this child to have a vocabulary, some of them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, go see what they are calling it before they're in the know.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I need to get into these groups to create a following, but I also need to get into groups that don't have special needs groups, like just schools and you know what I mean? So that when they encounter families with special needs kids, I'm their person that they refer.
Yes, love it.
Yeah.
Love that. So over here on the I was gonna say Facebook, but on the YouTube side, we got Dr. LaFera over here that says, good morning, ladies. So Dr. LaFera, you can let us know which one of the strategies you are using and which one you are going to start using. Same for you, Shawana, because I haven't seen you type anything yet. So Heather, we are to you. So which one have you been using and which one will you start using?
I think I've been doing relationship selling. That's just part, and I always incorporate, like, storytelling is just what I do. So that's just what I do. But I think what I need to do more of is I can't, words are hard this morning.
Consultative.
Yes. I was like consultative.
See? So what we gonna call that? The Wisconsin? Because that's not Alabama.
That's the Wisconsin. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll just do it that way.
So that's them Great Lakes. What is that? What is that?
Too much fresh water. So I think it's the that word. You do have consultative selling.
Okay, there you go.
Because I do some negotiation already. I offer flexible terms. I, do extra things to like help people like get through the whole process. But I think more of the selling part is identifying specific challenges and trying to come up with solutions for those. So
okay. I love it. And so I would love consultative. Go on somewhere, Dewana. Nobody asked you to look dash it out. Too funny. Also, what kind of networks and stuff, groups, communities? I think you need to think about that, Heather, because there are so many out there for experts, and what we know is those experts need a book, right?
Yes.
So add that to yours.
I just actually texted Trey about that. What do you know?
That. I love that. All right, so our YouTube ladies are over here. Dr. LaFera said your people have tried experts and they don't have a lot of time and are willing to pay to get help from someone who has been there, done that. Shawana said relationships are everything for my business. Based off of what you said, I do have to be more mindful of storytelling for what I do for people I get to serve. Yes, Shawana. You might can even show a behind the scenes of you doing some kind of consultation with somebody who's not good with video, scared to get on video, and how you kind of solve that problem for them in a personal way. Dr. LaFera said, I'm working on building relationships and consulting. Awesome. Consultative selling. Shawana also says, yes, I do consult, but I don't promote the consultation piece. That's something for me to think about. Yeah, it is. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are not experts at video. So they're going to need that, that consultation, that, baseline, what am I supposed to do? So that they can feel like they're getting their money's worth. So you definitely need to let people know that you're not just expecting them to buy your service and then fly on their own. So yes, so you need to make that known way more. All right, ladies, before we get out of here, are there any questions about today's sales approach? It is relationship building approach, and we've talked about 10 different strategies. Anybody have any questions or any value adds they want to add to it? Let me go to my show notes. Okay, so y'all will get the other 5 strategies and how to implement them in the show notes. Again, the show notes are available only in our free community, shaycannon.info/group, to go and get the show notes. Movie night was last week. We did the movie Air that was available on Amazon Prime. It was fantastic. We pulled out a bunch of great nuggets. That movie was just nugget upon nugget upon nugget. So it was awesome. The discussion was awesome. Due to the holiday, our next workshop, which we now have an official title, Infusing AI into Your Business with Custom GPTs. Okay, so that workshop plus challenge experience is going to take place next Wednesday, which is the 6th. And then the challenge part will be Monday through Wednesday, the 11th through the 13th. Now, it's going to go on sale tomorrow. General public is $147. If you're in the community, the free community, shaycannon.info/group, okay, you'll get it for $97. If you are in the quarterly CEO productivity membership, you get it for $47. If you're in a top tier coaching program, it's free. Okay, so sales page will be done today. So the link will be shared on tomorrow. So be ready. I have accepted that y'all ain't did nothing with this holiday. And so y'all not ready for me to give the workshop this Wednesday. I get it. So the workshop will actually be next Wednesday. You will have a week to purchase and be ready. Okay. And then we'll do the workshop next Wednesday, the 6th. And then the challenge portion experience of it will happen the following week, Monday through Wednesday. And that's the 11th through the 13th. All right. And Shawana was especially wanting to hear that because she had a lot of stuff going on with her family during the holiday, as did a lot of people. So that's what we got. So guess what? Studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.